Welcome to the Conversation Colons podcast. I'm your host, Damien, my co-host, Jared.
Hola.
Hola, senoritas.
Yeah.
That's all I know. No mas pantalones. You want to take us into the brewskis of the week?
Yeah, I just have a small glass of Jack Daniel's whiskey and Coke.
I have a small can of Coca-Cola.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So, first off, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Spooky season. Hopefully you're I'm posting this I'm posting this Saturday early in the day, so hopefully you have fun trick-or-treating with your kids or whatever you do on Halloween. Get drunk.
Or whatever creatures you may have.
Hey, right? I know what I'll be doing, which is working and then coming home and probably crying myself to sleep. But it's all right. So, Jared, spooky season. So we should talk about some spooky things.
Of course.
To
start it off, the scariest thing.
Oh, I was about to say it. I was gonna say it.
The scariest thing that could have ever fucking happened to us is Cyberpunk was delayed again. Even though they said they weren't gonna do it.
Yeah, thanks to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, it got delayed.
So all you fucking plebs out here bitching about your console and your little console war, you're the fucking problem, all right?
Yeah, you're the reason.
I have to wait. Got a PC like a real fucking gamer, we wouldn't have these goddamn issues.
Right. Right.
You know, I mean, fuck, even my girlfriend has a goddamn PC now. Like, what the fuck?
Yep. Yeah. People are slacking. Yeah, so it comes out December 10th now, instead of November 17th. We were 2 weeks away, and they dropped the bombshell. Which, whatever. At least the game's done. They had to delay it because of distribution problems.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get it onto the new consoles quick enough, so they needed another month. Whatever. I mean, if the game's good, I'm okay with waiting.
Yeah. But you know what? On top of that, like, as much as I want to play Cyberpunk, I've been enjoying playing some of the games we've been playing recently.
Oh, right.
Like, we got into Rogue Company, and that's a fantastic game. I've been enjoying myself very much, having fun with you guys. As well as, personally, I've been playing a lot of the fucking Pokemon when you guys aren't on. It literally has been podcasts and Pokemon, because when you guys aren't on, I don't know what to fucking do with myself, apparently. That's the new DLC I've been playing, fucking Crown Tundra. It's a fucking amazing. If anyone is a fan of Pokemon and you like the legendaries, play this fucking DLC. Fuck, what else have we been doing? I feel like we've played something else I forgot about.
Well, Rocket League still.
Phasmophobia still.
Yeah, not as much Phasmophobia. It's kind of died.
Yeah, kind of. It just slowed down. It's still fun as fuck, but
it is fun. It's just they need to add new content.
Yeah, or just something to make them more like different, because don't get me wrong, each time we have it's spiced it up a bit, and I've still learned things that I haven't known before, but you're right, it needs to be something a little bit different.
Yeah, I feel like if the ghost moved around, like in the sense of like, okay, you go and go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, if they move around, or if there's a wider spread of like evidence, like discovery, because like I saw a thing where we saw the handprints on the windows instead of just on doors and light switches. Like, I didn't know that was a thing, but it is. Yeah. I just feel like if they had more things, like you find them on the floor, on the ceilings, or if you like, I don't know, just something else. Like,
well, yeah, I think like it'd be, because when you play that game, you just kind of run into the house with an EMF, and you try to see if a sink turns on. Like, I don't know, like that's fun. You're basically looking for one room, and it's only one room. I feel like the ghost traveled around. Like, it'd be so cool if it was in the basement and then like it chased you guys, and then you'd have to like re-find it when it's more aggressive.
Yeah,
but it's early access. It may happen eventually.
Yeah, and it does chase you sometimes, but it usually defaults back to that room.
Right.
But we have had a few very rare scenarios, and of course I'm playing devil's advocate here, where we've had the ghost, like, we hear the sink turn on, and we go in that room, we start setting up, and nothing's happening. And we've learned that sometimes it sets up the sink to, in adjacent rooms. We've had to like relocate stuff, and we're all freaking out because there's been some like ghost encounters. Like, those are the real fun ones.
Yeah.
But like you said, the one where it's just in that one room, those are pretty slow.
Yeah.
But also satisfying if you go in there and immediately get them all right. It's like, wow, that was fucking quick. Awesome.
I mean, I recommend it was $10, right? I mean, if you have a PC, like,
10 or 15?
No, it was 11. I think it was $11. It was $10.99, I believe.
Remember.
Or maybe $11.99. It's worth it. I think for the price, and hopefully they add more over time because it's an early access. But so for our little Halloween special, we wanted to make a top 10 list each of the best movies to watch on Halloween, for ourselves, that we've watched. Disclaimer: Jared's not seen every movie on his, but that's fine. Also disclaimer: I have 10 movies, and then I have I have 10 honorable mentions. Would you like me to just go through my honorable mentions first?
I feel like honorable mentions should be given out at the end.
Okay, you want to do it at the end? All right.
Yeah.
So what is
here's what we'll do. You go through your 10, I'll go through my 10, and then you just give us your honorable mentions after that.
Okay. So number 10 for me is The Shining, obviously Stanley Kubrick. This movie it's still such a fun watch. I've talked lengths about this movie on the podcast before. I just think what it brings to the horror genre in more of a psychological way is great. You have the Room 237 situation where he walks in and the girl's fucking hot, kisses her, she turns into an old woman. You have the iconic scene of him turning the corner and seeing the two girls. And that movie's very much it's a psychological horror, and it's terrifying in different ways that most movies don't do anymore.
Absolutely.
So number 10, Stanley Kubrick. Number 9, Halloween Town. I just feel like that should be on the list. I love those.
Go
ahead.
Is that the one with Carrie Fisher's mom?
Probably.
And the younger kids?
Yes.
Rachel literally just made me watch that 2 weeks ago, and I never heard of it or seen it in my life. Not a bad movie, but in my opinion, cringy as fuck.
Well, yeah, but it was also an early Disney's movie.
Oh, yeah.
But it has the name Halloween in it. It deserves to be on the list. I think number 8, even though I fucking hate this movie, Ghostbusters. I think a good movie that if you want to watch something with your kids, I feel like Ghostbusters is a great movie to go to. That's all I have to say about that fucking garbage. Number 7 is The Conjuring. I think that I wanted to throw in something newer. And so when I looked at all of the new scary horror movies stuff, I looked at Insidious, The Conjuring stuff, and I just think if I went, well, what's the best movie out of those? I think it's the first Conjuring. Even the second one's not bad.
I almost put that on my list.
Yeah, The Conjuring is a very old school style of film too. The way it's shot, the way scenes are set up, the lighting, and even the second one kind of goes more into that. But yeah, so I think The Conjuring for a ghost type is good. You could put A Haunting in Connecticut in here. So that's my number 7. Number 6, any Friday the 13th. I put part 4. I think part 4 and part 5 are my favorites. So I wouldn't do the first one. The first one's too slow for me. I don't watch that one anymore. Especially because Jason's not in it. And 2 and 3 are decent. I actually really like the funny Jason ones too, where Jason goes to Manhattan, and then Jason X, which is where he's in space and he's all carbonite. It's fucking hilarious.
I'll have to check one of those movies out. I've never seen any of those. I'll have to check them out when he's.
I would do part 4 because it's because you've played the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah, of course.
That camp, the main Camp Crystal Lake thing, it's the first movie and the fourth movie capture it perfectly. But the first movie doesn't have Jason and it's his mother, right?
Oh, which is why he's Jason.
Right. So number 5 is one that it's a movie I've loved since I was a kid. It's Ghost Ship.
Really?
I love Ghost Ship. You can ask. I could pull my mom in here right now, and that 13 Ghosts and Scream are the 3 movies I would have on repeat.
Ghost Ship is the one where they have flashbacks of the ship when it was in its prime, right?
Yeah, the beginning scene's quite iconic because you see wire cut people in half. Right?
Yeah, I fucking love that movie. I forgot that existed. I haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah, the movie's great.
You know what? I oh my god! Quick tangent. When we played Man of Medan.
Yeah, that's what we were. Yeah.
We
Literally the same
talked
thing.
about that
Yeah.
in Man of Medan because I was like, this reminds me of a movie. I couldn't remember I don't think I can remember the name back then. That's fucking crazy. I forgot about. I want to put that on my list just because I forgot about that.
Yeah, that movie's
Holy
fucking
shit.
great. It has Carl Urban in it too, and like it's such a stereotypical like late 90s early 2000s movie. Like you have the people who are dumbasses and you have the really serious main or protagonist, and yeah, I think like the scares that are in it aren't that great, but I just think the atmosphere and the story of it, I've always loved it, especially
It's
the first scene.
great.
The first scene, that whole set piece is fucking iconic for that reason.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah. One of the only movies that when I saw it for the first time actually like scared me was A Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember
Yeah.
seeing this when I was like 4 or 5, and the scene that always like haunted me for that movie was when I forget her name. She goes out into the alleyway in her dream and she sees Freddy and he like expands his arms and he chases her and then he ends up like fucking cutting her up and she's going up and down her walls. So Nightmare on Elm Street, I think that's a fairly good one.
Yeah.
Number 3, Hocus Pocus, obviously, like that's just a Halloween classic. Disney classic, I guess.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Hocus Pocus. It's with the 3 witches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rachel's your fucking girlfriend. You've had to seen Hocus Pocus with her.
No.
What?
I'm sure she'll make me though if you say anything about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her. Hocus Pocus isn't bad though.
Well, yeah.
I haven't seen it in a few years because I'd rather watch like horror movies.
Yeah.
But like if I had to watch like this or Halloween Town, like I would choose Hocus Pocus.
That's fair.
Number 2, my favorite horror slasher of all time, Scream. The whole series. Besides 4 I'm not that keen about. I think the first one is so great because all the like older horror movies that I talked about and even some of the ones in my honorable mentions, this movie makes fun of and puts it into a new context and shows that even the old ways of doing horror movies can still work to effectively scare people and put them on the edge. I think Ghostface is like a great like icon for the like slasher genre because of how aware they are of what that like genre is and what they're trying to like lay out. I mean, Wes Craven directed and created A Nightmare on Elm Street, right? So
yeah,
I just think the way that is, and especially because this was one of the first times like with Scream that there was a big twist at the end where there was 2 killers and you were trying to guess who the killer was. You know, all before they would lay it out to you. I mean, Halloween, you know it's Michael Myers. Jason, you know it's Jason. Freddy, you know it's Freddy. Like all the previous horror movies never had you guessing about who it is. It guessed you of why. But this movie makes you guess about who, what, where, why. And I especially the first one, I just think that's the one everyone should watch on Halloween. And 2 and 3 I love just as much, to be honest with you. And I know a lot of people hate on 3, but 3 is fucking fantastic for me. 4 is all right.
Wasn't Matthew Lillard in one of those?
Yeah, he's in the first one.
Is it the first one? I couldn't remember.
So
It's been a very long time.
Shaggy is a killer in that one. Spoiler alert.
He is fucking awesome.
Oh, great.
I saw a video about, and I can't remember the main actress's name from the first one either. It's gonna kill me.
Neve Campbell.
No.
Well,
the blonde.
Oh, you're talking about Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Thank you. Good fuck.
She's not the main actress. She's just in the first scene.
Okay, I'm sorry, not the main actress. But anyway, from that first scene, I just remember watching a video. God, fucking it. Maybe this year. I feel it's been longer. Talking about like horror movie screams, and I was just fucking bored at my ass like at 4 a.m. on YouTube, and I was watching. And this guy is explaining like how her scream is like one of the best and most iconic horror movie screams, and like shows genuine terror. And it's like I now every time I think of Scream, I just think of her and her screams because of how well explained it was that she was doing a very good job.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch those movies. I really want to rewatch those now.
What I love about Scream, especially the first one, the second one kind of dips in some quality, like with attention to detail, because they put that out less than a year later because the studio was rushing Wes Craven to make it. what makes the first Scream so good is, there's two killers. You have Billy and then you have Stu. And you can tell who's the killer because each one holds their knife differently.
Oh.
And so there's a whole fucking dissection. I may link it down of like this guy going through each and every Scream, telling you who the killer is and how you can tell. Fucking great videos. A little thing that I never thought about with the first one before we move on. The beginning scene, super iconic, right? Have you ever thought about how like that scene makes sense? And because think about it, he's at the front door, right? And then all of a sudden her boyfriend's at the back door tied up. Her boyfriend gets killed, and then he's at the front door again, and then he's in the house, right?
Because there's two.
Right. So
yeah.
I watched a whole fucking video about how it was laid out and how Wes Craven thought about it in his fucking head, and it blew my mind. And because I just never put it into because when I watch those movies, I always see it as one killer until recently, even though I know there's two killers. I just always for whatever reason, I just thought one at a time. Like they would kill one person one at a time.
Completely understandable.
I mean, that's how the movies were made, right? But
yeah.
I mean, the first scene, two people, I'll probably link it down below. But yeah, Scream, my fucking favorite slasher horror movie of all time. One of my top 5 movies. Well, top 10 movies of all time, too. It's probably my most watched movie I've watched in my life, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, when I was a kid, man, Scream, Ghost Ship, 13 Ghosts, The Mummy 1 and 2, like the movies I'd watch all the time.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was a fucked up little kid. My mom would just let me watch horror movies all the time. Like she was never one of those people that was like, oh, like, I don't want you to watch this because it'll scar you. My mom just fucking go get scarred. They'll help you in life.
Yeah.
Then number one, obviously, right? Obviously, it has to be Halloween. I mean, this movie literally takes place in Halloween. The vibe of the first movie, especially, like it's so different out here being in Arizona because what I always liked about Halloween was that I always felt like I could drive 20 minutes and be in that location, right?
Yeah.
And Brunswick kind of had that feel a while ago. Now it doesn't. But, it's a little bit chilly outside. The wind's blowing. It's dark, but you're going around trick-or-treating. And the first movie just captures that so well. And I honestly miss that about Ohio, to be honest with you. Like, the cold weather, the trees, like the leaves falling. But anyways, yeah, I think Halloween obviously captures that perfectly. Michael Myers may be the most iconic horror or slasher antagonist of all time. And John Carpenter made a fucking classic, and it's probably the second best movie on this list behind Scream. So that is my 10.
All right.
So what is your 10, Jared? Let's hear them.
So these are in no particular order.
Okay.
And also, whilst you were listing yours, I thought of one honorable mention.
Okay.
So I'll give my honorable mention before you start yours.
Okay.
So my 10, and again, no particular order. The first one I've listed here is The Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
I saw this movie, I think twice. One all the way through. The second time, I don't know if I saw all the way through. I don't remember. But I know I sat down to watch it a second time. It bugs me trying to remember it because I always feel like I mix this movie up with other movies because the way this movie is, if I remember correctly, is they find out that it's like some experiment or some shit.
Yeah, so it has all like horror movies together.
Yeah, and so it always I always think I'm fucking mixing this movie with other movies because of that aspect, because like it's been forever since I've watched it, but I liked it because it just put a really good, I don't want to say spin, but it put a good perspective on horror movies with like the stereotypes of each person, like each of the survivors, if you want to call them that. So I don't know, I liked it as in just, yeah, I don't know, it was one of my 10. I'm not good with the whole horror movie Halloween spirit movies. I like Halloween, I like fall, but the movies around this time are really rough for me. I don't know why. I just like movies all the time. So the second one I have on my list is Midsommar, whatever, however you pronounce it.
Okay.
This is one of the ones I did not see, but every time I saw a trailer for it, like in theaters all the time, I was like, God, I really want to see that. That looks like it'd be interesting, but I don't like the scary part. So I wanted to see it to find out, like, oh, what are they teasing here? But I never did see it. So it's just on there because I saw it listed. And I'm like, fuck, that was one I always wanted to see. My next one, number 3, is Nosferatu.
The classic 1937.
Oh yeah, the real. Well, I think it was it 37? All right, maybe it was. I thought it said 40 something, but
It may have been 40.
I can't remember. But yeah, that one. I did actually see this one.
1922.
Was it 22?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then there was Nosferatu the Vampire in 1979, but no one likes that one.
Then I don't know which one it is because it was Nosferatu Phantom de Nacht, which I think
so you're thinking of the first one.
Yeah, the first one. So I have seen this. Maybe I'm mixing up which one it was, but I know I've seen one of the Nosferatus a fucking long time ago. Like I don't even think I was like older than 8, maybe. So it's been a long time, but I have like snippets of it in my memory, and I like it. It's a classic. I like it. Next one, number 4 is a repeat of one of yours. It's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
I recently, and by recently I mean yesterday, I was talking to my dad about Nightmare on Elm Street because I happened to be sitting in the living room with him, and a commercial came on about it because it's like, oh, they're playing, it's Halloween time. And I was like, oh, I love that movie. And he goes, which one? And I'm like, what do you mean, which one? Aren't there only like 3 of them? And that was the trailer for the first one. He goes, there's like 13 of them. I was like, no, there's no fucking way. He's like, yeah, there's like way too fucking many. And I didn't know that. I had no fucking idea that Nightmare on Elm Street or like
10 movies. 9 movies.
Yeah, there's like fucking a ton of them. I was like, there's no fucking way. So the first one, the original one, at least I believe that's the one I saw. I have not seen a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I'd probably say I was 12, probably around that time. It's been a fucking long time, but I love the idea of it. Freddy is still like one of the few like horror movie ones that I feel like would probably genuinely terrify me the most out of any of them. So I don't know. I like that one a lot. My number 5 one is Halloween. And I've only seen I saw one of the classics when I was younger, and I don't remember which one it was. And then I saw the 2018 release one, and then whatever one came out right after that.
Which one?
The 2018 and the one that came out after.
What movie though?
Halloween.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So it was the one where it like takes place. Or no, what? Fuck. No, I can't remember.
Well, so Halloween also one of the series. I mean, I feel like any slasher kind of gets a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Halloween, obviously, the first 2 are good, and then after that, they kind of get weird. But there's been 2 reboots of Halloween. So there's the Rob Zombie ones. The Rob Zombie made one in 2008, and then 2011, the second one came out around that time. Don't quote me on that. So Rob Zombie made those. That one's very gruesome. So if you saw one that's really gory, that's the Rob Zombie one, and then the new one obviously came out in 2018.
There's not another one?
Oh, well, there's Halloween 2, but that's a sequel to the first Rob Zombie one.
It wasn't. Then maybe it was all one movie. It was just really long. Okay, so then yeah, the newest one I saw, and it was the one where like it's the one of the main bitches and the cop from the originals or older ones is like the old people in the new one.
Laurie Strode,
and I liked it. Yeah, I can't remember names, dude. I can't.
I know.
I'm bad with names as is. Yeah, so that was the one. That was number 5 there. Number
Good
6
movie.
is
Texas.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep. Which one though?
Both the older one and the new one.
Well, so there's 4 older ones.
Jesus Christ! Then one of the old ones. I don't remember which.
Well, you're
one.
probably thinking of the first one. Yeah, in 1970 or whatever. Yeah, they made 4. I think no. Was it 3 sequels or 4 sequels? I don't know. The third one, Matthew McConaughey's in. By the way, little tip for you, or little I don't know, little fucking trivia. I don't know.
I don't remember which old one, which of the older ones I saw. It's probably the classic. I know I've seen it because I just like I sit here, close my eyes, I can like picture scenes from it. But then I also know that I've seen the new one because Alexandra Daddario is in it, and she is hot as fuck. So that's why I know that one. So my number 7, and this was originally I changed it to Ghost Ship because we had talked about it, and Ghost Ship's awesome. Originally, my number 7, I think, was American Werewolf in London.
Really?
which I had also never seen, but like
Oh.
well, I shouldn't say never seen. I think I'd seen it, and I remember the name, so I put it in there because I couldn't think anything better.
4 sequels to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's all I'm saying.
Jesus. Yeah, I know there was one, and I know it was a classic one. I just can't remember which one. And then one of the only scenes that sticks with me from Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the girl that they pick up on the side of the road, which I think this is the new one.
She blows her brains out.
When she takes the gun out of her pussy and then shoots herself in the face. Yeah.
That is I think that is either the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which came out in 2003, or there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, which came out like 3 years later or something like that. I think it's the first one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 2003.
Then I think that's the one I saw.
Yeah, because that Jessica Biel on it.
Yes.
Yeah, so you saw the 2003 one, yeah.
Yeah, yes. And I saw that one at a sleepover Halloween night. That was a scary one.
I think the last movie was called Leatherface. I think that one had Alexandria Daddario.
Yeah, I think that's the one I saw. That's the other one.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's that one. So anyway, number 8 is what I was on to. Poltergeist.
Right.
I know I've seen this movie, but I don't remember it.
Have you seen the original one or the remake?
It was fuck.
The remake just came out like 2 years ago, 2-3.
Then it was definitely the original.
Okay, the original is fucking great.
Oh yeah. The thing is, like, I don't have memory of that movie, but I know I've seen it because my dad, like, he swears on his life that he like watched it with me like close to Halloween one year, and I'm like, I don't fucking remember. Like, I just don't.
Every time I watch that movie, though, I always think back to Scary Movie 2 because a lot of Poltergeist is made fun of in there. You have the clown that gets fucked by the one guy. You have the tree that ends up like I forget the character's name, but ends up making him into a fucking a blunt and smoking his hair. Like yeah. So a lot of the Poltergeist stuff isn't. Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. So that's when I don't remember seeing, but I know. I mean, it's a good movie. I know that, and I know I've seen it at some point.
I mean, one of those first few movies that made people like leave theaters.
Yeah, that's oh my god, yeah, I've heard about that.
And Exorcist.
Exorcist, that's the other one. Yep. Yeah. So number 9. This is one of the ones that I recognize is not that good of a movie or series of movies.
Is this the one you said I was going to be shocked if I thought you'd like?
No,
that I thought I would like.
No. Yeah, no. This is the one I think I'd be shocked if you liked it. Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, that's fair.
So my dad and I watched the first one. We rented it when you rented movies and they sent you a DVD in the mail.
Oh, God.
We rented it like that forever ago. It was like when Netflix was like doing stuff by mail. That's when we rented it. So
yeah, because it came out in 2008.
Yeah. So that's the first time we saw it. And that was 12 years ago. Oh my god.
And they've made 5 sequels.
Yeah. So I was 14 when this movie came out, and this was when I was just starting to like not be a little bitch when it came to scary movies. And like this movie still freaked me out. Like the jump scares got me, but the other shit just like made it hard to sleep for a week. It was one of those things.
So you didn't see this movie on release date then?
Huh?
You didn't see this like the first one came out in 2012? No. Hold on.
I didn't see it on release.
Yeah, so
we saw it at home.
Yeah, it came out in 2008, like I said.
Yeah. Okay. We probably saw it in like late that year or in 2009. Like we definitely got it. We either picked it up at like Family Video, which by the way, did you know Family Video shut down?
Yeah, I found out a few days ago because I don't know why I was talking to one of my people who come into my work about like rental stores. Yeah. But I like went into the Brunswick one and saw that it fucking closed like 2 months ago.
Yeah, they had to close it because of COVID. I was super shocked.
And now
you know
it's
how many
fucking stupid ass store.
Yeah, it's some dumb shit. I've been past it since they closed.
Rest in peace, Family Video. I have great memories.
Dude, some of the best memories I have from that is renting games to play on 360 for a weekend with my friends, like with you guys. I rented Halo Reach from them to play when my other Halo Reach broke until I could buy a new one. I'd gotten my first date with Rachel that wasn't at a movie theater. We rented a movie from there. And the first time that my mother ever found out that there were porn in rental places like that, we were walking near the back, and I went, "Hey, do you want to go back in the porn room?" And she went, "The fuck are you talking about?" I'm like, "Right here. There's a bunch of porn behind that door." She goes, "No, there's not. It's a bathroom." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" So I got her to open the door, because she thought it was like employees only. So I got her to open the door, and she looked in and went, "What?" And she walked in, like, because you've seen it, right? Like, you have to walk in, go to the right, and then there's like the open little area.
Yeah.
And she goes in, and I was 18, and so like I could have followed her, but I was like, I didn't know if
Looking up
I didn't
porn
know
with
if there
your
were
mom.
rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. And so she's in there, and I just keep hearing her go, "What?" And so I go in, and I was going to record it for Snapchat. I didn't get a chance to because she walked out, but she was like, and I stood there looking at her, and then she was just looking around, like turning in circles. She's like, "I can't believe this shit. I can't believe it." She's like, "We have lived here how many years? I've never known this." Great. I was dying.
Right.
Fucking hilarious.
It's so sad that kids aren't gonna grow up like
I
with
know.
rental stores. Like, I mean, I know people say that about Blockbuster and shit like that, but like Family Video had a fucking vibe to it. Like when you walked in,
Family Video was great.
Yeah.
You know how many times I bought candy there, and my mom was like, "You're
Oh
an
my
idiot.
God,
It's so
yeah.
expensive."
dude, fucking
That place. Oh,
So when you had a 360, the slim one, if you put a disc in and like this console is standing up and you knocked it over, it would laser burn your disc.
yeah.
So Modern Warfare 3, my fucking nephew kept knocking over my fucking Xbox 360. So I would go to Family Video, I'd rent their disc, remove their sticker, put it on my broken disc, and return it to them. I know it's a shady thing to do, but listen, money was tight back then.
And that game was it was a huge hit. So
I mean, dude, like
Yeah.
that game was $60 till the next one came out. There was no fucking
know.
sale on that one.
no, there wasn't, and it was a great game. It was worth it.
Oh yeah. In fact,
Fucking, if I could go back, oh dude, and the fucking survivals. If I could go back, man, I fucking would.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So rest in peace, Family Video. My point with that was we either rented it from them or had it sent in the mail by Netflix or whatever.
Right.
So that's when we watched that first Paranormal, and because we watched that, my dad thought it was so like shitty and cringy because he's older. Obviously, he grew up with like Poltergeist, Exorcist, like you said, great movies. So to him, this was some shit movie. To me, I thought it was like pretty decent. So because of that, we then had to watch the like second, third, fourth, all that shit, and then the
They just
fifth
get
one.
worse and worse as they go.
Oh my God, they got so much worse. But like as we were getting older, and because it became like a running gag, every time we'd watch the new one, it was like, "Oh, you ready to get scared? Oh, here we go. It's gonna be so scary." And like it just never was. But it was so funny
Right.
because there were points like, and I think it was the second one where it was like the other family, and like they're like, "Oh, we got rid of it," and then they're just sitting at home, and that's when the sister drags the baby out. My dad, every single time we've seen it, when the guy sitting on the couch just gets his fucking neck snapped, he starts cracking up when that happens every time.
You know,
So I was like, it's that shit. It's funny. But then because we thought it was like this shitty movie, when the fifth one came out, or the last one, whatever it was, we went to see it in theaters. Like we said that we had to go see this in theaters just because of what we had turned into, like this little tradition for us.
right.
And we couldn't ever remember the name of it. So my dad kept calling it Paranormal Activity Ghetto version, or like the Ghetto Paranormal Activity, because we couldn't remember it was in that ghetto-y neighborhood. Like, but oh my God, that I love those movies just because of that shit.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Funny story. So I saw the first one in theaters.
You did?
Yes, with a guy who is my dad, right? We'll keep it at that. And
Okay.
yeah, that movie is very I don't think a lot of people look at it this way, but that movie revolutionized found footage horror, because before the Blair Witch Project was like that movie, but the Blair Witch Project wasn't scary, and it was just a lot of built up intensity, right?
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity really put like a ghost kind of in front of you. You saw different things. It was unique in the way it was edited, and a lot of the scares, like before, there's that one scene, Paranormal Activity, where the guy's like in the hallway and you see like a fucking picture fall down from behind him or whatever and breaks. And like it kept happening, and like things kept building up and then getting to a scare. Like for found footage horror, that wasn't like being done until that movie. And so that movie actually like made it to where found footage horror could be done correctly and well enough to where people would like it. And so yeah, that's how VHS was made. If you've never seen that movie, I think it's on Netflix or like Shudder. VHS is a good movie to watch if you like found footage horror. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So in the middle of that, talking about like the found footage horror movies, do you fucking remember
Room Encounters, or whatever the movie is?
What?
The Ghost Hunter movies.
Yeah, where they're like in the asylum in the one, and then the second one that's a different group, and they like find the guy from the first one. You remember those?
Yeah, we watched that together on Netflix.
We watched that. Yeah, we watched that at like my birthday parties when we used to do like slumber parties and shit. We watched that at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the fucking name of that? Is it? I see one called Grave Encounters. Is that what it was?
I think it was Grave Encounters.
I'm looking online. Yeah, you're right. It was Grave Encounters, but I don't remember the name of the second one.
It was just Grave Encounters too.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. But yeah, that's like another thing, like not that great of a movie, but like was awesome to us. Well, awesome. Yeah, it is Grave Encounters too. Do you remember the fucking picture for that? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That fucking creepy thing climbing through the window. Those were such good movies. Like that found footage, like you said, that just reminded me that those not great, but great for the time when we watched it.
Right.
Yeah. At the time, we had a friend who was hiding under a blanket, looking at things he shouldn't have been. Shout
out to Jordan.
Anyway, I'll go to my next one. I'm dragging that out a bit. So my 10th one was Scream.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the same reason I like talking to him. Like, I remember watching those when I was young, and like I wasn't as big of a fan as you were, but I definitely enjoyed them. I'll have to rewatch them because they were really good. And I like Matthew Lillard, so I want to watch it because of him being in it.
That first scene is still so fucking intense.
Oh, I know. It's like, crazy.
The funny story about that movie, it was my most watched movie. I didn't watch that movie for a few years. Like, I don't remember what like year it was. I think it was probably from like 2012 to like when I moved out here, because I remember me and my nephew were looking for movies to watch, and that came up, and I was like, oh my god, like I haven't seen this in like years. Like, let me fucking watch the first Scream again. And that first scene, like watching it all over, kind of fresh, even though I've watched it or seen it a lot of times, like going a few years without seeing it, like that scene just, it holds up so well.
Oh, absolutely.
Shout out to Wes Craven, who's made fucking classics. Rest in peace, my dog.
Absolutely.
So what is your honorable mention before we get into mine?
So my single honorable mention is The Addams Family.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fair.
So the reason I put that, I haven't seen the show. I've only seen the one movie. Reason I put that in is because my girlfriend forced me to watch it. Fuck, I don't even know, over a month ago now.
Forced.
And I was super against it. I didn't want to watch it. For some reason I thought it was something else, and I thought I was gonna fucking hate it. So it was like pulling teeth with me. Like it was bad. Like I'm not gonna go to the details. But she was not fucking happy with me because of how much I didn't want to watch it.
Right.
And you cannot let her know this, but I actually enjoyed the movie. It was actually quite good. But she asked me afterwards, and I just didn't answer her. She's like, "Did you like it?" And I just kind of like made a face and shrugged my shoulders. I don't want her to know I like it because of how much I did like it. Because I don't want her to fucking kill me.
The TV show has such an iconic fucking like theme. It's the do. And then they snap their fingers. That
well, yeah, they play at the beginning of the movie too.
Right?
Which I didn't fucking know. I was like, I know this song. She goes, "Yeah, you're gonna fucking like it." And I was like,
you probably know it from the fucking Eminem commercial, like the candy.
Yeah,
they did that for a while.
Oh my god, yeah.
All right, so I got 10 honorable mentions. I'll kind of go through them as fast as I can. Sleepaway Camp is basically it came out in the 80s. It's kind of a Friday the 13th knockoff in the sense. It has one of the best like twist endings a horror movie can have, or a slasher film can have, specifically with the killer. So if you've never seen Sleepaway Camp, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a good watch. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Ooh.
You know, early 2000s, late 1990s. I just think it's one of those classics, even though it's not the greatest. Like, I just think that should be included. The Ring, I forgot to include that into this list. Like the first one, not bad. I also have The Cabin in the Woods. That's on my honorable mentions.
Nice.
Yeah, not a bad
We
movie.
agree on something.
The first Wrong Turn.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Wrong Turn?
No.
You and Rachel should watch that movie. It's not bad. It's
Yeah.
hillbilly killers. That's all I'll say about them. After Wrong Turn 1, do not watch any of the other 9 sequels that they've made. Because then it's just hillbillies fucking and sucking.
Have you ever heard about have you ever heard of a movie called Tucker and Dale vs. Evil or something like that? Dale and Tucker. So, would you consider that horror in any way?
It's like comedical.
Okay, because that was another one I saw when I was looking at movies like top 200 horror movies. That was one that was listed in horror, and I'm like, I've never seen it, and people tell me I need to. I was gonna say, I was like that. I swore people told me it was a funny movie, not a horror.
That should not. I just wanted to ask you. That should not even touch top 500. Like,
okay. It was like
you got to think 80s. Jaws is technically a horror movie. That is considered a horror movie.
I almost put that in on my list as well.
House of a Thousand Corpse. Rob Zombie's one of his first breakthrough movies.
Don't know if I've seen that one.
House of a Thousand Corpse, great. You and Rachel should watch that one too. Right. Trick or Treat. I actually don't like this movie, but the name is Trick or Treat, so I feel like it should be on the list. I also have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Any of them besides the sequels. The 1978 or 9 movie. You have the reboot in 2003. You have the New Beginning in 2006. Then they did like Texas Chainsaw 3D, which was like in 2013, and then Leatherface, which was all right. Yeah. Any one of those, they're just fun to watch. Carpenter's The Thing. That is just. Have you ever seen The Thing? It has I forget his fucking. You remember Star Wars dad? I forget his fucking name right now.
Oh fuck! He's in Tron. Oh, don't fucking tell me. Don't tell me. Hold on. Oh, I like this guy too. Fuck! It was on the tip of my tongue. I almost called him the name from Tron he was in. Fuck. Fuck. I know his name. I'm not gonna Google it. Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Fuck. What is his name? No, we're not going on until I remember this. It's something. It's really obvious. Fuck. Is it Kurt Russell?
It's Kurt Russell. Yeah.
No, it's not.
It is Kurt Russell.
No, it's Jeff Bridges. You fucking idiot.
Jeff Bridges is not Star Wars dad.
Is he not? Is that not the same guy who's in Tron?
Jeff Bridges is in Tron, but yeah, no.
Oh, does Kurt Russell play the twin in Tron?
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie since it came out in 2009.
Fuck! Now I can't remember who Kurt Russell is. Is he? Wait.
Star Wars dad and Guardians of the Galaxy.
But now I can't remember what he looks like. Let me look him. Well, okay, continue. I'm just confused.
So The Thing is a really good movie. If you've never seen it, kind of like a quick synopsis. There's this thing monster that takes the shape of like its host, and it's like inside. So the whole movie is based on the premise of you don't know who it is. And so the whole movie you're just trying to figure out, you're trying to kill the thing, and the ending has a really open ending for you to kind of like figure out like, oh, do you believe Kurt Russell was the thing at the end? Like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Remake.
Oh, thank God. Okay, Kurt Russell is in Tron. He plays the guy. Yeah, oh, thank fucking God. But Jeff Bridges is also in it.
This movie I didn't put on my list because I consider it more of a Christmas movie. Nightmare Before Christmas. I know this is a lot of people's favorite, like, but I put this along like with a Christmas movie. I didn't want to put it on like my top 10. I also think this movie is highly overrated, but that's just me.
Fair.
And then because the honorable mentions aren't in any order. Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
I fucking love this movie, and I know it's garbage, and just accept the fact that I put it on the list.
Oh, did you put Casper the Friendly Ghost on any of them?
No, I would not recommend that to anyone.
That's kind of mean.
Over any of the movies I just listed now.
Okay.
But there's dude, when I was thinking about this list, there's so many. The first Strangers movie, fucking great. I just watched the second Strangers movie, fucking awful. If you've never seen the first Strangers movie, Jared, like I need you to watch that movie. That movie's fucking crazy.
I'll think about it.
What? I'm about to go on a tangent. I need to not, but after this, I need to tell you why it's so good.
Just tell me now. We're recording.
The Strangers, the first one, and I'm going to kind of talk about the second one a little bit. The first one's great. I'll tell you the premise, okay? This
Can
couple
you tell me who's in it so I have something in my head?
It's nobody famous is in it.
Oh, well, then this movie means nothing to me. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, the movie starts off, and this couple comes in. They just went out, and his girlfriend denied him on his proposal. Okay.
Ooh.
So they come in. They're fucking stressed as fuck. They're sad at the situation, even though they love each other. She just wasn't ready. She doesn't know why she said no. Anyways, it's dread from the beginning. Then a fucking girl knocks on her door, and I forget what she says. The girl leaves, and then all of a sudden, there's these 3 people wearing masks surrounding the house. And what makes The Stranger so good is that it uses intensity and kind of like a build-up to perfection. There's scenes, when you think of your house, you think of it as like a sanctuary. It's safe, right? As long as they're out there, I'm in here. The movie constantly twists it to where, like, there's a scene where the girl is walking down a hallway, and you can see the male stranger guy walking slowly behind her far away. And so, like, they stalk before they kill. And there's so many scenes where, like, she'll walk past the doorway, and there's one of them there. So it builds up that intensity. So then it flips the script because now the house isn't safe. Now the place that wasn't safe, the outside, is the only safe place. And then they go out there, and then that's not safe anymore because they're all there again. So it constantly flips the script, and it has a great ending. It has a great ass ending because with horror movies, usually what happens, Jared, the protagonists live. This movie, that does not happen. But fuck the second movie. It did not do any of the things that the first movie did well. Everything the first movie did well, like everything it did well, the second movie just didn't put into the movie. Like so many things. The characters aren't likable. The atmosphere isn't great. I don't like that you could see, one thing that makes horror movies great, right? Is a big thing subconsciously is if you see their eyes, because then when you see eyes, you think human. Okay.
Yeah.
So what a lot of the original Michael Myers, like Halloween, Scream, and some other like great horror movies do, is they don't show the eyes of the antagonist, because then it keeps you wondering and you don't look at them as human, right? So Michael Myers, if you go and watch the original movie, you don't see his eyes. It's just black. And so he looks like the devil himself, which is what they compare Michael Myers to in the movie. What sucks is, like, later on the Halloween movies, they start showing his eyes, and it just ruins the way you think about Michael Myers, and it takes away his scare factor. It ruins
the illusion.
Yeah. So with this movie, the first strangers, man, like, you never see their faces besides in the dark, and then the only other time is you see them wearing these fucking masks, and you rarely see their eyes. So it's terrifying because they're people, but they're not. The second movie, you see the fucking main girl's mask off multiple times. You see fucking their eyes constantly. It's just not the same. Sorry.
It's not nearly as good.
But back to my point, when I was making this list, there's so many movies we didn't include onto this that like should definitely be on here. I mean, Scary Movie should be on here, even though it's a like comedical movie. Fucking Ring, like I talked about earlier. The Grudge.
Yeah, I almost put Ring on my thing.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones I'm forgetting. Insidious could have been on there. Dark Skies. I can just keep going on. But that is our those are our lists. Is that it for the week? Is that all you had to talk about?
There was one thing that I meant to mention at the beginning that I do want to mention now, only because it is something that I've been anticipating for since probably before COVID, or like right around the time it was all popping up. So there's a game on Steam that I don't remember why I came across it, but I saw a like super early alpha clip of a game called Teardown.
Yeah, so like a destruction game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I'm like, I need to play this game, and I went in, I wanted to buy it, and it was listed on Steam, but it's like, it's not available, and there was no given release date. It just said soon or something.
It just came out.
It just came out today, October 29th. I got an email, it's not October 29th anymore, but I got an email about it as soon as it came out, and I was like, oh fuck, this is awesome, because I've had it on my wish list for months. So it's out now. I have not got it yet.
I hear it's good.
It's $19.99 plus tax, obviously. After this podcast is over, as soon as we're done recording, I'm probably gonna go buy it. If not, I'll have it buy it tonight, have it downloaded for tomorrow. And I'm playing it. I've been so excited to try this game, and it's if I remember correctly, there's one guy working on this. He's by himself. He's been doing it all by himself. And I know we don't shout people out. I know we don't say oh, do this, do what we're doing. And I'm trying to not do that. But if I had to recommend a game just to try, just a quick $20 on a game, give it a chance. It's early access. Just look at it. See if you can find any footage of it. And just give it a chance. I mean, looking at it now, it's been out not even 24 hours, and the reviews on it are overwhelmingly positive, which I think is the highest review you can get on there.
Probably.
It's already got 1,200 reviews, 97% positive. So give it a shot. I'm gonna go get it, and if I'll talk about it next week on the podcast, whether or not it was good or worth the money. If you guys want to wait, hear what we have to say. It looks fucking awesome. So I just wanted to say I'm really excited because there's very rarely a game coming out that isn't what do they fucking call it? One of the big title games like Call of Duty, Halo, AAA, that's what it is. It's very rare for a non-AAA game to come out and I be this excited for it.
Right.
So we'll talk about it next week. Damien, hopefully you play it with me if it's even multiplayer. I don't even remember.
It's not. But
I don't think it is. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
A little bit of an announcement for the next coming months, right? December, obviously, we'll be doing our Conversation Cold Ones Awards again, like we did last year.
Oh yeah, fuck.
So we'll be doing a podcast for. Well, I think last year we threw music into it, into the movies one. So I think we're gonna do that again. So we're gonna have an awards show for movies, and then separately after Cyberpunk comes out, we'll have our awards show for video games. So we'll break that down. But that's about it for announcements. So we'll have a podcast talking about the new Assassin's Creed when that comes out. Probably in that same podcast or the next podcast, we'll have a Call of Duty podcast talking about the new one that came out. I think those are the only two big games that come out that week. We're not getting the new consoles. We'll probably talk about a lot of the reviews and stuff. People already have the new consoles, so apparently they're both fucking great. So whatever. And then we'll talk about we'll have podcasts dedicated for Cyberpunk, obviously when that comes out. We'll probably talk about it because I think it comes out it comes out the 10th, so we'll have a podcast right after it comes out. Yeah. And then our next podcast will probably be our video game award show right before Christmas happens.
That is assuming that I'll be able to record. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but we're gutting our basement. I don't know if my PC's gonna be able to set up to record, but if it is, obviously I'll be here for it.
Right. I'll get Jared's list or whatever, and we'll figure it out.
One way or another.
Right. So make sure to comment, subscribe. Leave us your list down below of your top 10 Halloween movies that you watch every year, even ones you recommend for people to watch if they're not into horror movies or kind of this type of vibe of the year, right?
And list if something you think we should have mentioned or talked about that you want to hear us talk about or give information on that we may have missed, let us know. Because
and don't say the Goonies.
Damien,
I already know who's going to fucking comment about it.
But I'm sure Damien would love to, give me his opinion on something that I know nothing about again.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, maybe we'll do another Q&A in a few weeks. Try to get some questions. But yeah, if you're on Spotify, make sure to follow us, share. If you're on SoundCloud, iTunes, leave us a review, follow, share. Remember when we hit 100 subscribers on the channel, face cams are on. And then I have a whole fucking bunch of projects planned, when our face cams are on. I want to start doing a sports show by myself. If you want to be there, whatever, cool.
Depends on the sport.
It'll be everything. Mainly football season though, right?
No, fuck yeah.
Because then we'll talk about fantasy. But I want to start doing
that enough. I'd say so.
Right. Yeah. I want to start doing that. We'll do more movie reviews. We'll be reviewing every episode of The Mandalorian because that comes out weekly. So every week will be a new review. That comes out tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah,
30th
tomorrow.
Or 31st.
Tomorrow the 30th.
Oh, so it's going to be out probably in a couple hours.
It comes out in 5 a.m. your time.
Oh, I'm not staying up for that. So
I am.
In the morning. Fuck you.
So yeah, every week we'll fucking have a Mandalorian review. So you'll have my perspective, which just kind of throw it out there. I thought the first season was decent. A lot of the first few episodes were garbage, but whatever. I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10 overall. But yeah, we will have those going for you. So that's all the announcements I have.
Cool beans.
Alrighty, guys. Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to the Conversation in Cold Ones podcast. We will see you next week.
See ya.